So the Estée Lauder Companies have been around since 1946, well-established brands. How have you approached social with that kind of legacy?
It's a great question, and it's certainly been a big part of my role since I joined the company and created this function. And I think what we're realizing is actually in what I'm calling a bit of a back to the future moment, where the very premises those of us who've been in marketing for a while kind of grew up with sort of great brand storytelling, that social is really the extension of that. So ultimately it's about thinking about how to tell our stories in new, compelling ways that are right for each of these different ecosystems. And you know, I often think about Mrs. Estée Lauder as the founder of our company, a little bit of what would Estée do, and she had this famous phrase back then. Of course, you're gonna hear it and know it's dated now, but her phrase was, telephone, telegraph, tell a woman. And I think about that and I say she was the original social media marketer of our company and of our time. And so, you know, because she had this incredible insight just about being very woman to woman and using what were very original selling tactics and communication tactics back then. So I think for us, that actually means, if you think about this isn't about new stuff and technology. This is about new forms of communication that our founder, I truly believe, would embrace as the extension of the legacy she gave. So when you think about it that way, you suddenly don't feel alienated by it. You think, no, this is the continuation of what we've been meant to do and charged to do by our founder. So the question then, of course, becomes how, and that's the part that we're trying to continually get smarter and smarter about. How do you have global brand equity, but localize it for different audiences? How do you think about tailoring a message for all these different social channels where you're playing? How do you have enough content? How do you create the right engagement? So for me, these are sort of the profound questions that every organization is wrestling with, including ours. But it's really fundamentally getting back to the idea of being good storytellers.
Well, and she was such an authentic personality, and she lived such a long time.
Yeah.
So do you think she would be doing selfies at this point?
I would not like to speak to her for her specifically on that one, but it is quite possible. However, if she were doing a selfie, I can guarantee she would have been flawlessly made up.